Hello everyone, I'm Amaan Syed and today I'm gonna show Dataweave. I made Dataweave because of a necessity I had when I was doing database management systems as a course in my college. So it became very difficult to explain my whole schemas to ChatGPT because it couldn't understand my ER diagram, so it couldn't give me the correct code. So I thought of this program in which you basically make the ER diagram. It gives you the correct SQL code. It also analyzes the whole ER diagram and can also generate queries. Now these queries are not generated based on anything; it's generated on the actual schema. The whole schema is sent to the Gemini API in form of JSON. From my learnings, I found out that LLMs are best explained in Markdown or JSON. So that's why I convert the schema instead of images into JSON files, which can be easily analyzed by the data by the Gemini API. And the Gemini API now has 2 million plus tokens for the 2.0 Flash model in the free mode. So this was the best option to demonstrate this capability of the Gemini API. So let's get started. Is the home page of Dataweave. It has an ER diagram is an example ER diagram. We can see the three entities and their various attributes. I have selected the student entity and we can add another attribute called CGPA of the student. We can edit these we can edit these attributes. We can delete these entities. We can delete the attributes. We can change uh, their types like integer, character, etc. We can also add relations now to this. As we can see, there is a pre-existing relation by clicking on those visibility icons there, and he can also remove the relations. We can also change the type of the relations to each other. This helps in telling the Gemini API how your SQL is configured and how it is linked to each other. Basically, what is happening is this Dataweave is actually converting the SQL ER diagram to JSON and then sending it to the Gemini API. So it has the whole ER diagram as its reference. It does not use random attributes. It actually makes sense of the whole SQL schema before giving an output. Now, apart from viewing the ER diagram, we can also add data to the ER diagram in the data section. As you can see, the student has its own data. Then we can go back and add another entity. And if we add some sort of attribute to it, we can access it here in the new entity. But we have not added any, so there is only one. Now we can just delete the entity again. We can see for all tables here now. We can also add data to the existing entity using JSON. I'm working on the file upload feature, so I'll just grab this JSON and I'll upload it here. As you can see, Alice and Bob were already there. It automatically adjusts to the repeated values and adds it accordingly. This is the export feature with data. We can also export the SQL with data itself added, so we don't need to type anything again. Now we are going to see it's working now, how we can use this data to solve some complex queries, and how we can get those queries in just natural language. That's the main feature of Dataweave. So we are just going to keep this export schema. We are just going to copy to the clipboard. Now we are going to switch to the natural language mode. There are two modes here. One is the normal query and the other is the natural language. For natural language, we need to add a Gemini API key in the settings, from which we'll get from Google AI Studio. So I have added my own here. So I'll add some normal queries, get all students. So this gives us the correct SQLite query. And now, as you can see, it has retrieved the table correctly. Currently, the semicolon feature doesn't work. I have not implemented it yet because I have not coded the whole SQLite functionality in this. Now let's take a concrete example. We are going to run a simple query: get the student details for the student named Mark in natural language. We get this query, select from student from Mark. So now we are going to run this query in VS Code, where I have SQLite set up, and we are going to run this by putting it in a file named student course faculty.sql, and then we are going to run the run SQLite PowerShell command. So let's just switch to SQL, VS Code, and we'll just paste the copied SQL here, and that's it. Now we'll just run the command here in PowerShell. And as we can see, all the tables have been displayed. The whole database has been created, and a new file has appeared. It's called school.db. Now we'll just create the new function for the command we retrieved. So we'll just cross check. It's the same command as before. There we go. Now we'll just run this, and as we can see, as soon as we have run this command, we can see that all the details of Mark has appeared. He's the 5th student with the course ID 1. So that was in the table.